So yeah, guys, let's continue. In a soccer tournament, there are I think a tournament, not tournament. So there are 8 groups. There are 8 groups. Uh, 8 groups, and each group has 4 teams. The top two of each group gets to go to the next round. How many rounds will there be if my recording? Yeah, it's recording. How many rounds will there be if? How many rounds would that be if we want one winner? This sounds more like a probability question than it sounds like a sequence and series question. But in soccer there are 8 groups, and in each group there are 4 teams, and the top 2 teams of each group get to go to the next round, and then composes that. And how many rounds will that be? So what we have here is that we have 8 groups that have 4 teams, and then in the next thing we'll still have 8 groups, but these 8 groups will have 2 teams. So now we'll have 4 groups with 4 teams, and this will go again to two of the, and then we'll have 2 groups with 2 teams, and then we'll have the top two we'll have 2 groups with 4 teams, and then we'll have the top two, and we'll have one group with, now we can't have 4 teams anymore, we'll have 2 teams, and then we'll have just one person. So this is like how many rounds? So we're gonna have 32 people, 32 to 16 people, 16 to 8. Oh, shouldn't be halving. I really don't know why I did wrong. 2 times that, and I'll have 1 times 4 teams, and 1 times 2, and 1 times 1. Yeah, but yeah, essentially we have 32 teams, and then we'll have 16 teams. Then we'll have 8 teams, which is like the quarterfinals, and then 4 teams, which is the semi-finals, and then we'll have 2 teams, which is the finals, and we'll have one team, which is the winner. So this is a geometric sequence, and I think you can kind of understand what type of geometry it follows. So if I wanted to express the sequence in terms of uh in terms of in terms of a general formula, it will be Tn equals to ARn minus 1, right? And the first term is 32, and then R is half n minus 1. So the first term will be 32, and R is half, and yeah. And then if we wanted the total number of terms, you know that that term that we want is when we only have one team, meaning one champion, and we'll have 32 times 1 over 2 n minus 1. We'll have 1 over 32 here equals to 1 over 2 n minus 1. So we'll have 1 over 32, which is this over 5 equals 2. Now 1 over that still is 1. 1 to the n, 1 to anything is 1. Now we have 2 to the n minus 1. So now because we have both 2 there, we can have n minus 1 equals to 5 and n equals to 6, which is true because we have 6 rounds. I either have this or you have that, and you have 2 minus 35 equals to 2 minus n plus 1, which n is still is 6. So yeah, so nice thing there. Yeah, nice thing there that you can have. Now we know that we have these 6 terms. So in the first term we have 32 teams, and these 32 teams would be those amount of players. So 32 times 11, 16 times 11, that times 11, that times 11. So if this was the amount of players that were there, it would just be 32 times 11, that times 11, that times 11, which will be just this multiplying by 11. So it will kind of be like the same multiplying by 11, but you'll still have 6 rounds. If they said, oh, how many the final team 11 players would win and stuff. So it's kind of a way for them to kind of play with words and play with the sequence, and yeah, so I hope you guys found this very helpful. The next time we can do some sequence stuff, we can do some examples, some other examples, but I think generally in sequences this is like how far they'll go, like give you the term and find n, find tn and stuff like that. So yeah,